You're being charged a tax. And it's not by the government. It's the panic tax of having zero buffer. And it's stealing your sleep, your focus, and your choices. Give me 8 minutes, and I'll show you why the first $1,000 is basically a brain hack. Because it can feel better than $1 million in assets that you can't access on a Tuesday night. I'm Mike, Money Mike. I turned normal money habits into an emergency exit. Here's the paradox nobody respects. The first $1,000 in the bank can bring more peace than $1 million in assets. Not because $1,000 is a lot, but because $1,000 turns off panic mode. And panic mode is expensive. If your checking account is a tightrope, every tiny gust becomes a crisis. A flat tire becomes a credit card swipe. A copri becomes, I'll deal with it later. And later shows up with interest and attitude. Society sees a small savings account. Math sees a circuit breaker for chaos. Let's talk about what panic mode actually does. It makes you trade long-term solutions for instant relief. That's not a character flaw. That's your nervous system trying to survive. But survival spending is where your money goes to die. You know that moment when you open your phone to cancel a subscription. You're on the App Store subscription page, and the buttons are tiny and annoying. You think, it's only $9.99. Then you don't cancel. Then you do that 12 times. Then you wonder why you're bad with money. You're not bad with money. You're underbuffered. And underbuffered people buy peace the fastest way possible. DoorDash at 10 p.m. The delivery app hits you with the small order fee, service fee, taxes, tip, and emotional damage. You didn't buy food. You bought a moment of silence. Now imagine the same week, but you've got a buffer. Not a fortune. Just enough to breathe. That changes your choices. Because your brain stops screaming, solve this now. And it starts asking, what's the smart move? Here's a stat you handed me that matches real life. Having $2,000 saved is associated with about a 21% higher feeling of financial well-being. Whether the exact number is 19 or 23 doesn't matter. The direction is the point. A buffer doesn't just change your bank account. It changes your identity. You stop being the victim of circumstances. And you become the person who controls chaos. I know what some of you are thinking. I can't save because everything is expensive. I'll start after I pay off my debt. I'm embarrassed because $1,000 sounds small. Okay. But your life doesn't wait until you feel ready. Your car doesn't wait. Your teeth don't wait. Your kid's school email definitely doesn't wait. So we're going to build the buffer like it's a system, not a mood. And I'm going to give that first $1,000 a job. Because money without a job disappears. This is math frame number 1, opportunity cost as job assignment. Your first $1,000 is not an investment. It's a bouncer at the door of your life. Its job is to block the panic purchases, the overdrafts, the late fees, and the "I guess I'll put it on the card" moments. If your $1,000 prevents even one $35 overdraft, one $29 late fee, and one 25% April month of revolving a surprise expense, it starts paying you immediately. And it pays you in the currency you actually want first. Peace. Now math frame number 2, gap math. Path A is you with a $1,000 buffer. Path B is you with $0 buffer but good intentions. Path B hits one surprise and turns it into a payment plan. Then the payment plan crowds out savings. Then the next surprise hits. Then you live in a loop. That loop is the Flex subscription you never meant to buy. Path A still gets surprises. But surprises don't become disasters. So your next paycheck doesn't get pre-spent by yesterday's emergency. That is how you actually start climbing. And yes, eventually investing matters. But investing while you're in panic mode is like trying to jog with a rock in your shoe. You can do it. You'll just hate it. And you'll quit. This is why the first $1,000 feels like magic. Not because it multiplies. Because it stabilizes. And stabilizing is what lets you level up. You can negotiate bills when you're not desperate. You can say no to convenience when you're not depleted. You can choose the cheaper option without it feeling like punishment. Here's the plan, and it's boring on purpose. Open a separate savings account called Chaos Buffer. Not vacation, not new car, not fun money. Chaos Buffer. Because naming it turns it into a rule. Automate the first deposit today. Even if it's $10. Then pick one lever for the next 7 days. Sell 2 things you don't use. Pause 2 subscriptions you forgot you had. Or do a no delivery week and move the difference immediately. Not next month. Same day. Your goal is $1,000 first. Then you go for $2,000. Then you can start investing like a calm person instead of a stressed person. Future you is begging you to stop romanticizing struggle. You don't get extra points for raw dogging emergencies with a maxed out card. Build the buffer. Automate it. And let your brain learn the new identity: I control chaos. If you want, watch this again and do the first step while it's playing.